Hey, 8th graders, this is Miss Sawyer. You have opened your document for today and clicked on the video, so we're getting started. So what's going to happen is you're going to fill out this worksheet as I go through the video, and at different times feel free to pause the video so that you know what you're doing. So let's start off with kind of backtracking to our conversation last week. We talked about the Constitution and that these are the laws of our government, setting up our government. You did a scavenger hunt if you were in Miss Sawyer's or Mr. Rasmussen's class, kind of looking at the different things in the Constitution. You saw it pretty much sets up the three branches and says, like, how old you have to be when you're president, and how long are the terms for each of those branches and things like that. So go ahead and type in right here what the Constitution is, laws of our government, documents setting up our government, things like that. Okay, good. So when they set up the government, they were really worried that it was gonna devolve into another king or another dictator, and so they wanted to make sure that this didn't happen. So they decided they were going to break up the power so it couldn't be held by just one person. It's Sunday night and there's some fireworks going on outside, so if you hear my puppy whining, it's because Oli is scared of fireworks. So two different ways that they chose to break up this power. The first type of way that you break up the power is called federalism. I'll move that up there. So go ahead and on your sheet define federalism right here. Federalism is when you split the power between the national and the state governments and technically the local, so that the national government isn't super duper powerful because the states have some of that power as well. And you see that picture of federalism. And again, feel free to pause the video if you need to stop and get that definition. So we have a balance between national and state power. So they're really afraid of the national government becoming like a dictator again, and so they decided to split it. Now you're going to watch this video from the Constitution Center about the different types of powers in federalism. We have local power like cities and counties, so think Shoreview, state power like Minnesota, and then the national power, whole USA. Watch the video and you need to list at least two different types of power that each level has and put it into the box there. Okay, so go ahead and pause my video, watch this video, and fill in those boxes. All right, I'm going to assume you're coming back. So again, we're talking about how the government was set up and how they didn't want all the power to be within one place. They were afraid of that king having all that power. So the second way that they chose to break up the power, so the first one we just talked about was federalism, splitting the power between national, state, and local. And then the second way they decided to split up the power was that within the national and the state, they were going to break the power into three different branches. And I know you probably learned about this in elementary school, so some of this is a little bit of a review, but that's okay. So we have the three branches of government, and each of them has a set of powers to make sure, again, that we don't have one dictator, like the president can't make all the decisions, Congress can't make all the decisions, the judges can't make all the decisions. They have to mix the powers together to make those decisions. So within the legislative branch, also called Congress, and we split Congress, we have what we call a bicameral Congress, which means there's two houses. You have the House of Representatives and you have the Senate. And in your Constitution scavenger hunt, you found out there's 435 House of Reps, and we get that off of population. I think it's per, like, is it 30,000 or 300,000? I forget what it is. I forget what it is, but you saw it in the Constitution scavenger hunt. And then the Senate is 2 per state, and we'll talk about that when you come to your class session, or if you've already been in your class session, you know that we've talked about that. In the executive branch, we have the White House with the president and the vice president, and then also the president's cabinet, so kind of advisors. There's like a Secretary of Education and a Secretary of the Defense who does the military, and those are all included in the executive branch. And then we have the judicial branch, which is all the courts of the land, but the highest court of the land would be the Supreme Court. And I have a chart on your worksheet here that has the three different types of branches and who's in each branch already set up for you. So isn't that lickety-split? Let's write down what the 3 branches are, though. Let's add that here. Let's add a definition, because that's fun. We like defining things. Okay, so 3 branches. Branches of government. So you're going to type in the definition. I'll go back to that slide so that you have it. Perfect. Go back to the slide. Pause it so you can write it down. And okay, when you were at school, you either took a deep dive into how the legislators kind of pass bills into laws, or you're going to do that when you come back to school. But now your last part, you are going to play the Brain Pop game. This is one of my favorite games. I love it. It's simple and nerdy, but I love it. So you're going to click on this, play this game, and it's going to bring you to the Brain Pop, and you hit the play game, and then you have to put the powers into each branch. And so, and some of them you know, and some of you don't. So you're going to play until you get 100%. So like declare war. Most people think the president declares war, but that would be like dictatorship, because it would be, you know, they could be like, oh, I hate Canada today, and then they could declare war on Canada. That actually is a legislative branch, which is good because you want a lot of people kind of deciding to declare war, not just one person declaring war. So you are going to play that game and then fill in the powers that each branch has. And legislative has 6, and then you have judicial has 4, and then the president has 5 major powers, I guess. And then go ahead and turn in this worksheet when you are done. And I look forward to seeing you the next time in class. Please email or send a chat if you have any questions. Have a great day.